Welcome back. Shelley is here to talk about her experience raising her daughter, Alyssa, who was diagnosed with epilepsy at the age of 6. With the love and guidance from Shelley, her husband, and their son, Alyssa has grown into an independent young woman and is now pursuing a college degree in graphic design. As an epilepsy advocate, Shelley shares her perspective on how to help children grow up with epilepsy and successfully make the transition to adulthood. Welcome, Shelley.
Thank you.
Shelley, what was it like for you when Alyssa was first diagnosed with epilepsy?
Well, it's difficult to watch your child struggle with anything, but Alyssa went from being a bubbly, vivacious, energetic little girl to lethargic, sleepy, dull. It was Memorial Day weekend when she was 6 years old, and we were outside on a Sunday, and her her jaw went to the left, started twitching, and she looked at me with this frightened look and said, "What's going on, Mommy?" Somehow I knew it was a seizure, and I rushed her to the pediatrician. And of course, I was so afraid. I was thinking it was possibly a brain tumor. Unfortunately, because it was Memorial Day weekend, we had to wait for the testing to occur, later on in the week, and I was so afraid. Fortunately, the diagnosis was no brain tumor, but by that time she had had a couple more seizures, and we were told that she had epilepsy and that the way to handle this is to start her on medication. What I didn't foresee was the side effects of the medication. It made her sleepy, tired, and she started having school problems. She was unable to concentrate in school as the medications peaked right after she had taken them in the morning. And she was having problems. I didn't know how to challenge the school because she was not getting what she needed, and I realized that I was going to have to become an advocate for Alyssa.
How did Alyssa's younger brother handle things?
Well, he was a baby when she was first diagnosed, so initially he didn't realize, but as he sensed the stress in myself when I was on the phone with doctors, teachers, schools, the insurance company, or venting to my friend or my mother, he could tell I was upset, and he eventually exhibited signs of stress himself. At the time, Alyssa was seeing a neuropsychologist, and I presented this problem to her. She said that it's typical of the sibling of a chronically ill child to show stress. And she suggested that I spend more one-on-one time with him. I do not have my phone calls in front of him. I should go to a separate room. And to spend a lot more time with him. So he eventually joined Little League, and I went to all his games and took him out on his own, and he became better.
That's really good advice. What were some obstacles and challenges you've helped Alyssa overcome?
Well, my husband and I have always advocated for Alyssa. And we faced two major challenges. One was dealing with the school, and the other was trying to figure out what to do with her treatment. We had to help the school employees understand her specific epilepsy needs, because they were a little different than what people tend to think of seizures. In elementary school, she started having trouble remembering what she had learned during the day and was unable to do her homework at night. The school tested her and said that she was of above average intelligence and that she really didn't need extra help. I didn't think they were right. My instincts told me that they were wrong, but they were the experts. I was afraid to challenge them. So I had to learn to stand up for her, which was hard for me at first. And one of the things that helped was there was a support group of moms at the school of children with special needs. And one of them, when I was telling our story, suggested that I take Alyssa to a neuropsychologist. The neuropsychologist tested her for 3 days and determined that her seizures were occurring in a part of her brain that are responsible for memory, and that this explained why she didn't remember what she had learned during the day. It explained why her notes were messy. She would write on top of what she had written just before. the neuropsychologist offered to come to the school and talk to the child study team with me. And once they heard what the neuropsychologist had to say, they suggested that we put Alyssa in a one-on-one learning environment. They also took the neuropsychologist's suggestions on accommodations and strategies. Alyssa did start to do better. In middle school, though, we had to deal with her medication and her treatments, and we were constantly changing medications. When she had side effects, she still was unclear about what was going on in class. She missed classes every time she had a seizure and had to go to the nurse's office. And the seizures just weren't being controlled.
It sounds like you really broke out of your comfort zone and pushed for the school to help Alyssa succeed. How did you continue helping Alyssa progress medically and academically?
Well, when Alyssa was in 4th grade, her local neurologist, suggested she go to a pediatric epileptologist at an epilepsy center. It was there that they suggested that we consider brain surgery for Alyssa. I was very afraid, as you can imagine. But we did go through the surgery because we saw that Alyssa was not getting any better. The surgery was successful in that it stopped her larger seizures, but she still had some smaller seizures. The good news is those smaller seizures did not stop her ability to learn, and they weren't as distracting. So she improved, and she continued to improve into high school and eventually progressed to college prep classes and got excellent grades, graduated in the top 20% of her class.
Congratulations.
And even, thank you, she even qualified for a UCB Family Scholarship.
Very, very impressive. How has this experience affected you as a person?
Well, I've become much stronger. I've learned to trust my instincts and tell people if I don't think they're right, if I think that they need to do something else. I've become more confident with that because sometimes I was right.
That's right.
And I now am an epilepsy advocate and go around and speak to people about my experiences and speak to groups, large groups, and that's given me some more confidence also.
And you do it so well. How is Alyssa doing today?
Well, we're very proud of her accomplishments. I think it's important to identify your child's strengths and talents and guide them in that direction so that they can be successful. Alyssa has always loved art. She, when she was little, when she was 2 years old, she would take her little toys and sort them in piles by color. So she'd be a little color wheel right on the floor. So my husband and I decided that maybe a career in graphic design, which combines art with kind of more of a business approach, would be good for her. And so we found an excellent community college, local community college that had a great graphic design program and a great disability services program. So we sent her there. It was a great first step for her. So as you can tell, we've had to fight for Alyssa for a long time, but the turning point came 2 years ago when her doctor added a medication that decreased her side effects. This gave her more energy, less fatigue in the morning. She did not have those peaks of the side effects that clouded her learning and thinking in the middle of the morning. So now she can actually take morning classes, which gives her a much wider range of classes to choose from. And she's been able to succeed at community college.
What's next for Alyssa?
Well, she was just accepted into a very competitive graphic design program at a 4-year school. She's very excited to live on campus. We never thought we'd get to this point. And we've been all summer we're decorating her room. We're going out and picking, bedspreads and whatever. And she has a pink and black color scheme. She just got her roommate assignment, so she's going to give her a call over the summer, and she wants to meet new people, join clubs, do the whole college thing.
That's great. I know it's hard for all parents when their children go away to college, but I can imagine for a parent whose child has been living with epilepsy, there can be an added level of anxiety. How did you become comfortable with the idea of Alyssa moving away from home?
Well, I'm very nervous still, as all parents are, but I'm confident she'll do okay. She's always let me know when she was ready to move on to the next step. And community college was a good first step for her. She's applied to live in a study dorm at her four-year school where the rest of the students will be serious students like she is. And she's very excited to live on her own and test out her independent skills.
How are you helping Alyssa become an independent young woman?
Well, it's important to build a foundation for your child's independence. We talked to her teachers and always let them know what she needed to do. And I had to teach her then to talk to her own teachers about her disability and what she needed from them. She also needed to learn to have a good relationship with her doctor and take her medications on time. She manages all of that on her own now. And I'm trying to get her to get enough rest. I know this is going to be a problem in college. That's probably one of my number one concerns. But she knows what she has to do. So I know that I know she can take on more. I'm encouraging her to call her roommate and schedule her own classes without me picking them out for her. So she's doing much better. She's doing great.
That's so good. Is there anything else you would like our viewers to know?
Well, again, you have to encourage their independence. I'm not going to be around forever. She's got to learn how to take care of herself. You need to identify your child's strengths and point them in a direction where they can succeed. Definitely trust your own instincts. At first, I was afraid that maybe I was wrong and the experts were right, but it turned out I was right. So trust your instincts and seek support. This support group at school was wonderful for me. It gave me a lot of ideas and tips that I wouldn't have known on my own. And also find the right doctor. Find an epileptologist that specializes in your condition.
Thank you, Shelley, for sharing such great information. Alyssa is so lucky to have a mother like you, and I'm sure your experience will help other families guide their children to an independent life with epilepsy.